Hey, good morning. So back at it again. Yesterday we built the floor box, and this morning we're going to put the decking on the floor box. And there's a couple choices that you can use for this. I use Advantech, which is normal subflooring that you see in most new homes anymore. It's pretty water resilient, and it's tongue and groove, so it locks on the edges, which you'll see in a little bit. And I just think it's a great product. When they came out with this, everybody got out of the plywoods and the other things used on subfloors and houses, and so it's great stuff. Some people in these outdoor sheds will use treated plywood, which is the other choice. The thing I don't like about that is it doesn't tongue and groove, and I really like the fact that these lock together. But another choice. And then prior to that, I'm going to put down 4 mil plastic on the top of the joist, right underneath the where the Advantech's going to be, and it's just a moisture protection against the bottom of the Advantech. The fact that we're sitting on gravel here. Other people may have wanted to put the plastic down first, then put the floor joists on. That's another choice. The only thing I don't like about that is, should we get some water come under here and it gets on top of that plastic, it's just trapped. And with this stone, I like to think that if any water does go under there, even after we put a drainage pipe in, if it gets under there, it's going to flow right through in the stone. So that's why I put the plastic up top. But these are preferences, right? And I'm just giving you mine. So anyways, stop the video, get it a little bit done, show a few tips on that, and hopefully keep, after my long video yesterday, try to keep the video a little shorter today. Okay, so you can see we've got the plastic on now. Like I say, 4 mil plastic's fine. Vapor barrier. If you don't have one of these and you ever do any insulation work or stuff like this, or even like if you put the subfloor backing, the foam backing for like laminate floors and hardwood, we always call these slap hammers, staple hammer. These things are really nice. And so rather than trying to do a staple gun, simple as that, and you put a staple in. So very nice. Anyways, now time for Advantech. Okay, so we've got a little bit of the Advantech on. As you can see, we did the first row, and we're bringing the second row down now. A couple things to know about this: you start on the one side, and on that side you always start with the tongue, okay? And the reason being is this is the groove, so we want the groove side facing this way. And then the tongue of the next one has to go into that. And that can be a bit of a challenge at times. So basically, you get it in the best you can and then tap it in the rest of the way with what we used to call a persuader or a sledgehammer. So you put a board up against it and you basically tap it in and you get that groove tight. A couple things on the layout. You'll see on the board, it will tell you on Advantech where the end joints come together. Keep 1/8 of an inch. Not so critical here because it's a shed. We don't really care, but on a home, if you were doing it, once the Advantech's done, a lot of times that's the only subfloor used. And if what'll happen is if it gets rained on during construction, the board will swell a little bit. If they're tight against each other, it will kind of pucker up at that joint. So that's why they say to leave that little 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to show you how to nail it. Hold on. So if you look down on an Advantech board, they've really made these things very nice to work with. You see the patterns? Can you see the pattern on it? Maybe over here it's a little bit easier to see. But so what they've done is they've given us, and we're 16-inch on center. See how those circles are matching up right with our floor joists? And then they come every 12 inches, okay? And then down here in the end, you see there's half a circle, right? They're every 6 inches. And this is code for nailing down subflooring, is the fact that on the butt seams, you need to nail both boards every 6 inches. And then every 12 inches in the field is what the term for it is. So, once again, safety glasses on. But when you're doing these, angle your gun just a little bit. If you put it like this, a lot of times it'll shoot out the side. Okay? But see how we got those marks, right? No guesswork. And then right here, right there, see that circle lines up? We go 12 inches over, find the next circle. And that's really it. Just make sure that your joints are, the tongue is tight in the groove, right? And what you see, it creates a natural 1/8 inch too once you put those together. And then an 1/8 inch on where the two seam up together. We'll nail all that off. But and that's it. So we'll put the rest of the boards on this floor, and we'll be good to go. We'll get ready to start framing up some walls next.